What's up guys, Cap over here, and welcome to, as you guys can see, our very first video on our brand new channel that Crump and I are doing. So thank you for that, and thank you already for showing up. We have no videos released at all prior to this video, and you guys have already showed up, and it really pushed us and encouraged us to really get some content out to you guys as soon as possible. So thank you so much for that. It means a lot to both Crump and I. Let's get down to business though. Good Guy Gastly, I found him on Reddit actually, but I contacted him through Twitter, and he's got his own YouTube account, so all of that will be in the description down below. Look, make sure you challenge him up. He does accept battles in Twitter, and he does live in 6v6. Really good battler, really entertaining to watch for sure. And prior to this battle, we've had two battles. My first battle, I did win. Second battle, he mollywopped me. He just destroyed me. So we decided to have a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was quite the game. So let's get down to it. I saw the Steelix. I knew that the Steelix was gonna come on out, and I predicted that. And I sent out my holy mackerel, and Solid Snake. I knew it was solid snakes. I have one, and I do know it likes to have its shenanigans. So I don't want stealth rocks on my field, on my side of the field. So I go for the taunt, and I do carry taunt on my choice garbed X-Floud. So it's always really interesting to see that. As he falls for my taunt, he goes for the roar, really kicking myself in the butt. I should have gone for the flamethrower, seeing it now, as he does get rid of the sturdy. And I sent up my own Solid Snake to get this staring contest going on. He's got blue eyes, I've got red eyes. We're just staring at each other. And he goes for the heavy slam, which ends up doing more damage to himself than he does to me because of my rocky helmet. That's a thing. So I set up my own rocks prior chance to set up my rocks, and he goes for the ice break, hoping I could take that, but I don't. It does way too much damage. His song does wear off. Goes for the stealth rocks, and I'm like, you know what? Let's play some musical chairs. This is going to be a very dancey themed battle. So go for the Dragon Tail. It does no damage. And I'm fully aware of that. And Party Dan comes out, and I'm like, all right, Party Dan wants to party. I've got the Pokemon to match its dance moves, as I do have the D-Dance Dragonair, and that Dragonair, he'll try to keep up with Party Dan. He'll try to keep up, but Party Dan is quite the party. So Party Dan sets up the rain. Of course, you've got to have he's got his leftovers already. He's got his rain up. He's got his dance moves going. Party Dan's, this is his ideal environment. This is what he lives for. And I do know I can take an Ice Beam. Gas Powered Stick is so bulky, and I do take it, but I do get frozen from his moves. His moves just were unmatchable. Dragonair could not comprehend those moves. They just seem to be way too repetitive and just well coordinated. So he goes for another Ice Beam. Gas Powered Stick is still frozen, still in shock, and so am I. I'm crying. I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. So at this point, I figured I have to waste this rain. Party Dan is a threat as long as he's under the rain. So Solid Snake comes in and out. I do know I can take an Ice Beam. Not well, but I do know I can take it. As you guys can see here, I do take it. I do take it relatively well. Switch on out. I know I have to sack off my Gas Powered Stick. Sorry, Gas Powered Stick, you can't show off your own moves to Party Dan. So that really sucks. That really does suck. So Gas Powered Stick will go down to this party animal. He's having his way. He's having his party. So I sent him my Night Gale to crash this party, and I'm fully aware that his Solid Snake will come back on out. But I decided that I wanted. It's a good opportunity to get out activate my guts through my Flame Orb. Which I end up doing, going for the Brave Bird. My next turn, I can just U-turn on out of there, as it probably does like 10 damage maybe, if I'm lucky. And I do activate my burn, so Nightingale's set up, just in case I want to go for a quick attack later on in the battle and I don't have to sweep anything. I've got that option, so that's always good. Just planning planning ahead is always good, especially when you have a Party Dan in the room. So I sent out my Solid Snake ready to get this staring contest back on, and he's not fond of this staring contest, so he just roars me out, continues his shenanigans, his shenanigan ways, and to the heavens does not want to stare at this Solid Snake, doesn't want to take any heavy slams. A heavy slam from this thing would hurt. It would hurt anyone, except for Solid Snake, which I go back into, and he goes for a heavy slam. I'm like, all right, I can take that. I can eat that right up. I can eat it up, and I do. And he ends up taking some more damage, which I'm okay with. So this staring contest is on its way. I go for the Earthquake, hoping I can do a decent amount of damage, and which I do. I do get the crit, which is awesome, so awesome. But Solid Snake will go down to this Earthquake, and Solid Snake did a good job. Did a good job in this battle. So I sent in my Holy Mackerel, fully aware that a Boom Burst can take out the Solid Snake. And if he does switch into anything else, Boom Burst will probably wreck the lives of that Pokemon. Unless if it's Choice Scarfed and quicker than me. So the Wimplo comes out, the Primeape. Now this thing scares me because I was hoping that it wasn't Choice Scarfed, and I learned that it was. A Choice Scarfed Primeape will take me down, and it does take me down really, really quick. So that's unfortunate. I have a small window to win the battle, but it's not very big, and I have to make all the right plays, and a lot of things have to go my way. So he draws Wimplo, and I'm like, all right, Party Dan's coming out. I gotta get ready for this party. I gotta put on my spiffy clothes and all of that stuff. And Party Dan is just showing he does not care. He's just dancing all around. He's having a good time. And I've got my attire ready. I'm ready for a party. So I'll go for the Hyper Voice, deal some damage on this Party Dan, and it does a decent amount, but he's got the leftovers too, so it's gonna be a while. So Party Dan sets up his Rain Dance, and I'm like, all right, Party Dan, I know you like to drink. You drink too much, so I take advantage of that, and I go for the skill swap, and I get his Swift Swim. So at this point, Party Dan is now back to his normal speed, and not that potential sweep. And my Mega Dino is so much faster. So much faster. So that really worked out for me. I go for another Hyper Voice. I do know that Hydro Pump in the rain will hurt me a lot. It will hurt way too much. And Party Dan needs to stop drinking. He keeps missing. He keeps missing. He's feeling a bit tipsy. I've got my goggles on, and I'm ready to. And he misses again. That's what happens when you drink in the battle. And Party Dan is starting to. He doesn't fancy this. Round 2 is not going his way, and Mega Dino is pushing for the comeback. Mega Dino is vying for an MVP spot on this team, as he deals a decent amount of damage on this Rapidash. Charlie, the Charlie and the Unicorn. I get the reference, huh? I'll go for the Wish. I was hoping that the next attack that comes in, I will live, and I get outsped in the rain, so that really does suck. So I had to bank on the thought that I will live on this Flare Blitz, which I do. I do live on it by 10, and I get my Wish off. Hyper Voice will hit nothing since there's nothing on the field, so I can just yell my lungs off and see what happens. At this point, To the Heavens has done a really good job, and Cobra Commander comes out, and I'm like, I don't want to sacrifice anything else. I'm intimidated by this Cobra Commander. So he goes for the Gunk Shot, lands a Gunk Shot, and To the Heavens cannot take a Gunk Shot from an Arbok. So To the Heavens did a really good job, really pushing for that comeback. I know my Ryberry can come in and just mop the floor with this Arbok. So he is the banded Electivire, which is way too strong if you get it perfect. So the Cobra Commander falls. Sorry, Commander, your plans were foiled this time. They were foiled. And Wimplo comes in. And I do know if Wimplo lands one close combat, he wins, but his defense also drops. So I was hoping he'd go for the close combat, get the defense drop, and if I do live an earthquake, I can take it out. And he goes for the Stone Edge, and I'm like, Stone Edge misses. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. So at this point, I'm hoping, come on, 20%. Come on, 20%. Get that miss. Get it. Get it. Get it. And he does miss. Stone Edge is a thing, and missing is also a thing. So I do go for the Earthquake, easily take down Wimplo. And at this point, I'm like, alright, Party Dan, you're feeling the hangover. You've had 2 parties. That's one too many. One too many. Round 3, you're gonna black out here. So, Party Dan, you gotta go back to your studies. Spring break's over, and you just gotta go back to your studies. So, Electivire's helping out, getting the broom out and starting to sweep a bit. As he just does go for a hidden power. I don't know what this is. And I was frightened. So it does a lot of damage, but it was a crit. Later on he told me it was ice. Hidden power ice, and I was so thankful it wasn't anything else. And Electivire does end up getting me the win. Really close battle, really good game. Good Guy Gastly. And best out of 5, you know, maybe. Anywho, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Comment, subscribe, leave feedback. That'd be really awesome, as it will help us as individuals grow better as commentators, and things that you liked, things that you didn't like, things that you want to see on the channel. It'll help us and improve this channel quite a bit. So I'm gonna bring you guys some news too. I know, first video, and I'm bringing you guys some news. Come on, what are you doing, Cap? What are you doing? But both Crump and I are in the RBL, which is the Reddit Battle League, which is a little tournament going on that the Redditors of Reddit set up. So kudos to them. They're really organized. They've really put this thing together, and I'm really excited to be a part of this league, and so is Crump. I know that for sure. We're getting into it. So I'll be representing the Toronto Star Raptors, while Crump will be representing the Dallas Army. So look forward to that. And we might do some videos about that. The Mega Draft is this Monday. I'm gonna call it the Super Draft. The Super Draft is on next week. So look forward to that, and thanks for watching, and this is Cap signing out. I'm like, alright, Dragonair can come in here and start dancing around, so no point of Solid Snake staying in for the party.
I really lucked out there. Yeah, he decided to make a safe playing up an air slashing, and I might switch into a Pokemon that could take a water move.